Hi everyone, again welcome back to my channel Unfinished Curious Mind. Today in this video we will uh, mainly focus on the relative dating and the types of the relative dating. In my previous video I have tried to um, explain the concept on stratigraphy. Now this video is on seriation. Another video which is going to come soon, that video is that video would be based on the fluorine dating. So let us dive into this video. Seriation is a relative dating technique which is obviously used in archaeology uh, to arrange artifacts in chronological sequence based on changes in their style, frequency, or other characteristics. Now, this method is definitely helps us to establish a timeline of certain styles or types of artifacts were in use even when absolute dates are unknown. Now, if you take the example of the Neolithic, we all are aware of the fact the Neolithic grinding polishing technique, which is prominently seen in the pottery types of the Neolithic revolution time, where they are collected by the archaeologists, where we see this sort of method which is actually uncovered by archaeologists by these seriation technique. Not only this, but also if you take the example of the Harappan civilization, those sort of the where the black and wear or red and black and wear and painted grey ware potteries that are predominantly seen in that particular time. These sort of designs, these sort of patterns, these sort of zigzag patterns, all are basically reconstructed by archaeologists in these techniques. So now if we take the definition of seriation, obviously it talks about how it organizes artifact by using that relative age to understand the cultural development and historical periods or pattern or particular time frame. Now there are some if you look at the type of the seriation, there is obviously two main types of the seriation in archaeology, which is in frequency seriation. Now what is frequency seriation? This particular method is based on the frequency of particular style over time. For example, if we analyze pottery at a site, we may notice that the certain shapes or decorations are more common during specific period, as I was discussing earlier. These sort of if you take the example of Chandraketugor, which is a very famous archaeological site presently located in West Bengal. If you take the example of a pottery specifically found from Chandraketugor, which is amphora, the amphora pottery is a very statement. It itself a statement which depicts the specific zone that is involved. It is believed that amphora is either imported or amphora they exchange a certain kind of trade relationship with Mesopotamia or some more civilized city. So these amphora are basically trade from other city, and now these the experts or archaeologists have recovered these from the field of Chandraketugor, and now it is one of the prominent and one of the in a archaeological term, or in a normal archaeologists probably say that it is a style statement of Chandraketugor, to be put out that way. Now, talking about the contextual, another seriation type is which is contextual seriation. Now, contextual seriation is somehow little different from the frequency seriation. Now, let us understand why it is different. In this particular contextual seriation, what archaeologists observe, basically they arrange the artifacts by context, usually in layers. Now, I think it is not very clear as frequency seriation. Now, here I will also like to explain with an example. So, if we find certain type of tools in distinct soil layers, we assume that those from deeper layers are older. Now, here again comes the name of the that we have discussed the previous technique that is used in the archaeologist by archaeologists in their field, which is stratigraphy, which is very integral part of an archaeologist's day-to-day activity when they are in the field. Now, those that concept of the superimposition, the law of superimposition, I have made it very clearly. I'll try to put that video on the I button above this present video. Mm, just quickly I am saying the layers that the strata that you see in the archaeological field. The upper layer, the older layer which is at the bottom, those are considered as the uh, let me just make a drawing to understand better. So these are the stratas. Strata means layer. The stratigraphy, the word stratigraphy, the if you break down the word stratigraphy, then the strata, basically strata, the word strata basically depicts the layers. So if you can see the layers here. Now these older, the bottom layer is known as the older one, as I am highlighting with the yellow color. Now the above, this violet one is this violet line that I am putting out here. This is the younger one. So the law of superimposition somehow talk about this concept, younger one. This is the older one. Yellow one is the older one. So the law of superimposition is basically the main concept behind the stratigraphy. Now coming back to the contextual seriation. Now what happens is this, in this process of finding the stratigraphy, when an archaeologist not only while discovering and while excavating, not only find out the stratas or the components of strata, but they somehow uh, excavate or get the while digging they found some pottery styles or some certain tools from that particular layer. So these contextual seriation somehow helps them archaeologists to understand these artifacts, these where does these artifacts belong. This is the kind of um, uh, gist of the contextual seriation. Now also if we talk about more, then definitely frequency seriation can be illustrated with pottery. Archaeologists while studying an ancient site might find that that plain unadorned pottery was more common in earlier layers, while pottery with intricate designs appear in later layers. By noticing which pottery styles were most common in each layer, they established a chronological order. Now, if we again take the examples of the seriation, then frequency seriation can be illustrated with uh, visualizing the while archaeologists studying an ancient site, they might find that plain unadorned pottery was more common in earlier layers, while pottery with intricate designs appear in later layers. By nothing which pottery styles were most common in each layer, they establish a chronological order. So again, if you visualize the law of superimposition, so in the older layer, the relatively simple, less designed pottery would be visible, whereas when you get the younger layers, the the component of those pottery would be more complex. And uh, for example, if you find an stone object, stone, something which is made, for example, take the example of the neolithic, sort of neolithic grinding you got an artifact, or you got a pottery which is made of stone, but the method that is applied on that pottery is the grinding polishing method. Now if you again see the above layers or the younger layers, you find the potteries that are being excavated or recovered from those areas. Those are the potteries are more complex pattern. Now northern blackware pottery you found from that particular area. So those that northern blackware pottery is itself is made with more complex and more evolved technique, and also some uh, the designs around that pottery would be more difficult, and compared to that older layer pottery. So these somehow depicts the chronological ages. Now again, if we talk about the another example, which is of seriation, which is obviously used in dating of Egyptian pottery. Not only this, but excavating burial site, archaeologists found a progression in pottery style from simple and uh, simple, and how it get complex. Also the painted designs over time. By arranging these artifacts in a timeline based on that style, archaeologists were able to sequence Egyptian artifacts accurately and even compare them across different sites. There are some pros and cons of this method also. So if the pros, talking about the pros, it allows archaeologists to create a chronological order of artifacts within a site or a region. It also helps establish cultural timelines and stylistic trends even without absolute dating. Now there are some cons of this technique also. It though require a large sample of artifact for reliable result. Also, though it is assumes gradual and continuous change in style, which might not be true if external influences disrupt the sequence. It somehow works best with artifacts from the same region and culture. Now, there are some limitations. In various cases, artifacts might look similar across culture due to trading or influence rather than representing an actual timeline. This can lead to misinterpretation if not carefully analyzed. I hope this video is insightful to you all. If you find it insightful, then please do like and share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.